So can you just talk about what Davovich did for you when he came in to?
Yeah, I thought that was huge. I mean, stopped the momentum, took the momentum out of their dugout and got it back in ours by just some experienced presence out there. And I thought we let Graham down defensively. His line probably wouldn't have been as poor as it was if we played well defensively, but it was good to have that option on the back end to kind of shut that down.
Well, I mean, he gets a ground ball and then a strikeout. So I mean, it's like totally eliminates that whole threat there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we got the call at second too, which was good. I didn't have a great look. Obviously, the umpire had a better look than I had on. I thought it was a nice throw by Swifty, but yeah, we needed something because they had a little bit of momentum, and without probably an RJ that with him back there, who knows what would have happened on that. But it was good to have an experienced guy back there.
Obviously, last night you kind of said that playing the matchups with the pitchers. Now, what do you think about the way Tyler settled in tonight?
He was great. I mean, I thought he did a really, really good job of commanding his fastball and just doing his job, which was holding us close. It's just unfortunate we didn't get a couple of hits in there to break it open to give him a little bit of comfort to where he could pitch a little more freely. But every pitch that he made was really a big pitch because you're in a one-run baseball game the whole time. And I thought he did a really, really good job of giving the offense time to fire up a little bit. And I was glad to see him get the win because I thought he certainly pitched well enough, and we were going to make the change. We almost made it in the sixth, but I'm glad we stayed with him because I thought he pitched well enough to win. Happy for him.
With having hit a home run in the first inning tonight, similar to that of last night or yesterday, how important is that in establishing the momentum or getting the offense going?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it certainly is a jump starts the offense. It puts you out to a lead, but it puts a little fear in that other dugout too because they keep situationally walking him. And Trevor's going to heat up a little bit. I thought he had the biggest hit, one of the biggest hits, he and Jump, of the game coming after that. And who knows if Torque doesn't do that in the first inning, maybe they don't intentionally walk him there or whatever. Which we were a little surprised with that because with the right, the matchup, the spin, that they did that. We thought it was a better matchup with Hopper anyway. But yeah, I was glad to see Torque do it on the funny side. We said anybody can hit solo home runs, but we'll take it.
Is Swift in center field something we'd see again, perhaps before?
Well, it's out of necessity. I mean, it's we got two center fielders down right now. Hopefully we get one back here soon. We still have, Seth is still, kind of a work in progress right now, and the games are tight, so you're making decisions. You can allow those guys to grow a little bit more or whatever when they've got maybe a big lead, and we can be a little bit more patient. But it seems like with the games being as tight as they are, we need to get the bunt down or you need contact or whatever, it forces your hand. And when you don't have a lot of options on the bench right now because of injury, you do what you got to do, which is you move your next guy out there. And so the answer to your question is, yeah, you'll probably see that. It's not necessarily because we really want to do it, it's because we have to do it. But we have confidence in him out there. And Baez plays a good second base, and it's a nice way to get that batting lineup too.
How's Dusty progressing?
We're hoping we hope we get some good news and get him cleared and get him back out if he's ready to go.
Can you explain the decision to pinch hit for Nager in the middle of the at-bat with Baez?
Well, I would say, how many games have you watched?
All of them.
Okay, so propensity for the other young man, in that situation, kind of last thing we want. So perfect situation, got first and second. He did a really good job of getting the sack bunts down last night. Once he went 0-2 and not getting it down, I'm just saying at this point, based on what I've seen, my confidence was not real high that he was going to put bat on baseball because the last thing you want is a strikeout there. So we made the move with Baez just because, right now I'd say he's a little bit more accomplished hitter. We're trying to get some contact, and unfortunately that didn't work out. But you get the bunt down, you're not talking. We're not talking about it. So it was just to draw contact because we did not want a strikeout. And right now he's he just looked like tonight an out for us.
So how long has Swift been taking reps in center field?
Kind of when the injuries happen, we started working out, just kind of saying just in case, just in case. And we talked with the team last night. I said it, can't remember one of the press conferences, but we got pieces we got to move around now. You got Ferry's out, and that limits and even what you can do with Baez, because if you DH him now, which he was doing a really good job swinging the bat, and you get a foul tip, and now you got to change that, so it puts a whole another element, because now your pitcher hits. So the guy that kind of gets screwed a little bit in this is Baez. So he's got to be kind of that filler guy all the way around, because we don't have the luxury of having. I should say we don't have the luxury really of having both of those guys in there at the same time at the formula we had before, one at DH, one at playing, because of the just potential for injury. But I like the attitude that all of the guys are like, tell me what I need to do, I'm going to pitch in and help us win.
So you're now a little more hesitant to use Baez maybe as a pinch hitter moving forward?
Well, yeah, if you notice tonight, part of the Swift move was we had to keep Nate in the game, because if we do the pinch hitting piece, it's not like if we take him out, it's not high school, you can't re-enter him. So we're down to one catcher if you take him out. So we got to be a little creative with that. But he's a good swing man anyway, defensively. So we won't hesitate doing that. It's not ideal, but it's more to protect the whole catching position.
You alluded to it a little bit last night. Do you know who the emergency third catcher at this point?
Yes and no. We got some guys that, I would say threw on the gear to let us take a look at it, and Swift, Jump, Torque, they're all like, hey man, I can do it. Hellman came to us last night, said he's been a catcher before. So, let's hope we don't get to that, but we've got a bunch of guys that would try it.
How have you felt about Chima's performance thus far? Because it's not yet a good game.
Yeah, he's been good. And I go back to how he was in the fall. He was really pushing Sammy in the fall anyway. And I've said it, I think, publicly multiple times that, he's one of the most improved players, honestly, that I've ever coached. From where he was his freshman year to where he is right now. But when you have an injury or you have a situation where you're thrust into now I have to be the guy, it's almost like this, a little bit more relaxed, because they're like, now I can just play. I don't have to play to try to get the next start. He knows he's going to be in there now, and I think it's improved his play. I think he's been really, really good. He's receiving the ball really well, had some nice blocks, and now he's starting to hit, because he was an offensive threat for us in the fall.
How much confidence does that give you that you do have that guy that has stepped up to the plate like Chima, knowing that the depth behind him is really not there?
Well, and that's not a slight, because we feel like you're going to see Nate at some point too. We're really confident he's coming along. It's just you want to have a little bit more time to develop some of those things. So, we have confidence that he's going to be I don't want to even say serviceable. He's going to be a pretty good catcher when it's all said and done. But to have two is nice. You just wish it was 50-some games in the season when you get down to two, not with 50 left. But done it before. I've had teams where guys have literally caught 56, so it can be done.
When was the last time you had a roster with two catchers on it?
Well, we were a little bit of that situation. Was Jeremy? With injury. So it happens. It's not ideal, but you're not gonna sit around and worry about it. Can't change. It's not. We don't have the minor leagues. We can't call them up. So we gotta make do with what we have. But I feel really good with those two.
When Swift was leading off third base, sort of bothering the pitcher, and then drew a wild pitch there, that was kind of an important part of the game too.
The maturity and the base running, and distracting that guy. I looked up at the free base board that we kind of keep during the game, and that game was tight, but yet we were really ahead of them on the free bases, and thank goodness, wild pitch. I thought he Swifty did a good job of distracting him. But, you know, at this point, we're still trying to grind it out. Your offense, I wouldn't say we're firing on all cylinders. You got to do the little things to try to scratch and call and score runs, which is what we did. And, you know, he's a good player. He's a heady player. And, you know, I would say that probably led to that. I would agree with you.
Have you put a more emphasis on small ball since your offense is quote unquote not firing on all?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that. We, you know, even after the first weekend about, you know, maybe until some of these pieces are back, or maybe they're not going to come back. But, you know, you lose a mature bat and an Aldretti and a Lyle, it changes a little bit. You've got some capable, and, you know, obviously Hunter Bishop and the numbers that he threw up. So we're not the same as we were last year. We're still a good offensive team. We've still got some guys who are sputtering a little bit who've been proven college hitters too. So you got to, you know, we probably bunted more, I think, in the first 6 or 7 baseball games than we have in the last 5 years. But you look at your personnel and you make the adjustments and you coach to your personnel.
Is fall available tomorrow?
Absolutely.
He is, okay.
Yeah. An angry fall.
Angry fall,
Yeah.
okay.
So we'll see what that holds. All right.